Do you know who built the pyramids of Egypt? Yes, I know you are thinking, the Egyptians. Of course, but how? Or who is Jack the Ripper? In today's 21st century, can he find out his true identity? So today, I will tell you the biggest mysteries in history that probably never be solved. Before I start, if you are new to the channel and love history, definitely subscribe to the History Facts Show and press the bell icon. Thank you. Number 7. The Voynich manuscript. The Voynich manuscript is one of the world's biggest unsolved mysteries. It's an ancient book filled with strange, undecipherable writing and mysterious illustrations of plants, astrological symbols, and bizarre diagrams. The Voynich manuscript is a handwritten book made of animal skin used as paper and is about 600 years old. It was likely created in the 1400s. It's named after Wilfrid Voynich, a rare book dealer who discovered it in 1912 in Italy. The manuscript is written in an unknown script that no one has been able to read or decode, even with modern technology. The book has over 200 pages and can be divided into sections based on the illustrations. There were drawings of plants, many of which are unknown or don't exist in real life. There were illustrations of stars, moons, and zodiac symbols, suggesting some kind of celestial or astrological focus. There are diagrams of tubes and organs with tiny naked women bathing or interacting with these strange structures. There were drawings of containers and herbs, possibly linked to medicines or remedies. The writing doesn't match any known language or script. It seems to follow a pattern, but no one can crack it. No one knows why it was written or what it's supposed to explain. The plans and diagrams don't match anything found in nature or history. But who wrote it? The author is unknown, but some theories include a medieval scientist or a herbalist creating a unique guide, a hoaxer who wanted to trick people into thinking it held secret knowledge, or someone from a lost civilization or culture. Cryptographers, linguists, historians, and even AI have studied the manuscript for years, but no one has fully decoded. Some words or patterns might match Latin or Romance language, but nothing is conclusive. Number 6. The Identity of Jack the Ripper. The mystery of Jack the Ripper is one of the most famous unsolved cases in history. The murders took place in London during the late 19th century, a time when the city was overcrowded and poverty stricken. Whitechapel in particular was a rough neighborhood with poor living conditions. Jack the Ripper is believed to have killed at least 5 women, all of whom were prostitutes. These victims were often referred to as the canonical 5. The killer used a knife to mutilate the victims, often targeting their throats and abdomens. The level of violence was shocking, even for the time, and suggested the killer had some knowledge of anatomy. The police received letters from someone claiming to be the murderer, signing as Jack the Ripper. One letter, the Dear Boss letter, is where the name originated. Some letters also included body parts like a kidney, which made them even more horrifying. Over the years, many suspects have been suggested. Despite this, the police never caught the killer. This created a sense of fear and frustrations. But why is it still a mystery? The police in the 1880s didn't have modern tools like DNA analysis or fingerprinting. Hundreds of theories and suspects have been proposed, making it hard to focus on one. But Jack the Ripper remains a symbol of the dark and dangerous side of Victorian London. Number 5. The Dancing Plague of 1518. The Dancing Plague of 1518 is one of the most bizarre events in history. It happened in the city of Strasbourg in modern-day France in July 1518. A woman named Frau Trophea began dancing uncontrollably in the streets. She seemed unable to stop, and her movements weren't joyful. They looked more like she was in pain or possessed. Within a few days, more people joined her, and within a week, about 30 people were dancing non-stop. Over the next month, the number of dancers grew to 400 people. The dancers didn't seem to stop, even when they were exhausted. Many collapsed from fatigue, and some even reportedly died from heart attacks or stroke because they couldn't stop moving. It wasn't like a party or celebration. People were desperate to stop, but couldn't. At the time, people believed it was caused by a curse or divine punishment. Since they lived in a deeply religious society, they thought the dancers might have angered Saint Vitus, a saint associated with dancing and convulsions. To cure them, local authorities hired musicians and opened up a big space so the dancers could dance the sickness out of their bodies. Ironically, this made things worse as it encouraged more people to join. Modern historians and scientists have tried to explain what happened. Here are some theories: mass hysteria, ergot poisoning. No one knows for sure what caused the dancing plague of 1518. The event is well documented in historical records, but without modern medical tools to analyze what happened, it remains one of history's strangest unsolved mysteries. Number 4. The Ghost Ship Mary Celeste. The story of the Mary Celeste, often called Ghost Ship, is one of the greatest mysteries of the sea. On December 5, 1872, another ship called the D.B.Cooper spotted the Mary Celeste drifting about 400 miles east of the Azores. The ship appeared to be abandoned. Captain Morehouse of the D.B.Cooper knew Captain Briggs personally, so he decided to investigate. The mystery deepened as investigators tried to figure out why the crew abandoned the ship. Over the years, many theories have been proposed. There may be piracy or mutiny, alcohol explosion, bad weather or rogue wave, sea quake or water spout, supernatural theories and human error. After it was found, the Mary Celeste was taken to Gibraltar, where an investigation took place. No conclusive answers were found, and the ship eventually returned to service under new owners. However, it never shook its reputation as a cursed vessel and was eventually deliberately wrecked for insurance fraud in 1885. Number 3. D.B.Cooper. The D.B.Cooper mystery is one of the most famous unsolved cases in American history. On November 24, 1971, a man named D.B.Cooper boarded a plane in Portland, Oregon. He was carrying a briefcase and dressed in a suit, looking like an ordinary businessman. The flight was a Northwest Orient Airline Flight 305, traveling from Portland to Seattle, Washington. There were 36 passengers and 6 crew members on board. Once the plane was in the air, Cooper handed a note to a flight attendant saying he had a bomb in his briefcase and was hijacking the plane. He showed her a glimpse of the bomb to make it believable. Cooper demanded $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and the fuel truck ready to refuel the plane in Seattle so it could take him somewhere else. However, during the flight, he made a strange move. He opened a rear stairway door and jumped out on the plane into the night sky, taking the ransom money and parachutes with him. The plane flew on for about 10 more miles before the crew realized Cooper was gone, and the FBI launched an extensive investigations searching for Cooper but found no trace of him. They searched the area where he likely landed but found no clues. The weather conditions, the height he jumped from, and the dense forest below made it difficult to track him. To this day, the mystery of D.B.Cooper remains unsolved. He became a legendary figure in American history, with numerous books, documentaries, and films made about the case. The FBI officially closed the investigation in 2016, but the mystery continues to fascinate people around the world. Number 2. The Disappearance of Flight MH370. The mystery of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 is one of the most puzzling aviation disappearances in history. The flight was scheduled to travel from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia to Beijing, China on March 8, 2014. However, it never reached its destination. Just after the last communication, the plane disappeared from radar. At first, authorities thought there might have been a mechanical failure or a possible crash. However, further investigations revealed something more complex. As authorities tried to figure out where the plane went, a massive search began. The search area stretched across a large part of the southern Indian Ocean, an area known for being difficult to search due to the vast and deep waters. Despite extensive efforts and the recovery of some wreckage, including a wing flaperon washed up on the island in the Indian Ocean, the main wreckage of the plane was never found. And number 1. The Lost City of El Dorado. The Lost City of El Dorado is one of the most famous legends in history. It is the story of a city made of gold hidden somewhere in the jungles of South America. For centuries, explorers, treasure hunters, and adventurers have searched for it, but no one has ever found the city. The story of El Dorado started with the native people of the Andes in South America. The legend goes that a powerful king known as the Golden Man lived in a city filled with gold. The king, who was a member of the Muisca tribe in present-day Colombia, was said to cover himself in gold dust and wash it off in a sacred lake. This gave rise to the idea that the city itself was made entirely of gold. The search for El Dorado started in the early 1500s, soon after the Spanish arrived in South America. Many explorers, including famous figures like Francisco Pizarro and Gonzalo Pizarro, tried to locate the city. They ventured deep into the jungles, crossed rivers, and climbed mountains, but they were never able to find anything. They often came back with the stories or hardships, disease, and deaths, as the dangerous environment and the mysterious jungle proved too much to handle. Despite hundreds of years of searching, no one has ever found El Dorado. Some historians think that the city may have never existed at all, or that it was simply a misunderstanding of the Muisca people's customs. Perhaps they had gold objects, but not an entire city made of gold. So for today, don't forget to tell us how you felt. I really want to know. Let me know in the comments. Which mystery surprised you? Comment if you want to see part 2 of this video. I will definitely make it. Thanks a lot for watching the full video. See you in the next video. Stay well.